Welcome in to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marchland Media Empire conglomeration experience, breaking down episode by episode, beat by beat, and sweat by sweat episodes of Lucha Underground. I apologize for that brick of audio that was the intro, but we're so happy to have you one and all. My name is Sean. With me, as always, is James.
Buongiorno. DiGiorno. I think we did this bit on another episode.
If we haven't, we should do it every episode. It is too satisfying of a sound to not make with our mouths.
What, DiGiorno?
Buongiorno, DiGiorno. And then getting self-conscious of the bits we make.
Yeah, but then I would go DiGiorno, pizza, pizza. Wouldn't you love to meet me? And then, we go from there. Hey, real quick, speaking about meeting people, I don't know if he listens to this show, but he's on the Marchland Media Patreon, patreon.com/MLM pod. One of the best things about going to Indie PopCon that Nicole and I went to, we saw a little guy, or should I say, a little man, Ratman.
What?
He's one of the listeners of Mostly Speaking Sentai and more.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Was he like really cool, or were you like, oh my gosh, we need to get restraining orders against our fans. We're too popular. These people are becoming ravenous, frothing maniacs out here. Or was he cool?
I'll be honest, as someone who's been doing this dumb shit for nearly 20 years, both would be cool, okay? I'd be like, hell yeah, someone's stalking me, yes. As long as they're a cool stalker, like Kristen Shaw in Flight of Conchords, that's a cool type of stalker. But then if you have I want to smell your underwear and then, stab you, one of those is cool. You can't have both.
No, yeah, like the fictional stalker like Kristen Shaw, amazing. The creepy stalker, like most real-life stalkers, not so much.
Yeah.
But I do understand, and I unfortunately do understand that feeling of like, listen, I know it's dangerous, but it's just nice to feel wanted.
Uh-huh.
That's the if you work in creativity but work in obscurity, there is I don't know, maybe this is also coming from two male presenting dude ass dudes. So like it's a little safer for us to kind of like fantasize about being stalked, I guess.
But I'll say, I thought you were going to say, like, this is coming from James, who famously, none of his family visits him. I have been in Chicago now for 10 years. My mother has shown up, no one else. And didn't your dad and stepmom they met me at a restaurant across from my apartment, but did not come into the apartment.
Wow. I mean, at least my dad has an excuse.
Yeah.
For being all dead and shit.
Oh, yeah. He's up in heaven watching you every single moment of the day, though.
Hold on. You can't. You need to make a mean joke because that was really beautiful. And I'm a little sad because that is something come on now.
I mean, he's watching you jack off. That's what I was kind of implying, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah, Pat, watch this.
Guess what? He's giving 2 thumbs up. He's like, I didn't teach you, but you were taught well. Or did he? I don't know. Maybe he was very open about that. He's like, you're going to want to take that putt out and really pound it.
No, there is something. I don't know what kind of hope that is that brings me of I don't know where you learned it, but you're doing it there, kid. Mm-hmm. Way to whack it.
But what we're also doing right here is whacking people off from the face of the earth and throwing them in a coffin.
That is right. We are up to Season 4, Episode 3 of Lucha Underground, Rest in Pieces. Notably featuring the first ever 3-way to the grave, which is Grave Consequences, their casket match, 3-way this time, between Fénix, Mill, and Jeremiah Crane. Ooh, only a 2-match card tonight. A little bit of spoilers, yeah. But makes sense. All the pieces moved, and like the thing that Lucha Underground does best really are like the backstage segments. Like the matches are amazing, and I never want to take away from those. But their backstage segments are also really, really, really good.
Yeah, but we only had 2 of them this week.
Yeah, but they're both really, really, really good.
I'll say this. Maybe it's been the headspace I've been in the past 3 weeks, but maybe I'm agreeing with people online. Season 4 kind of drops off.
Never agree with people online. They're monsters. It's, you know what it is? It doesn't feel like it's a finale season, which it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
It feels like, if they knew they were only going to get so many seasons, season 3 finale, like, feels like a good final spot. Where it feels like they're setting up a lot in season 4 for like new stuff, which they are.
Yeah.
And it's and like when you are setting up so many things, nothing really kind of feels quite as satisfying because we're not tying things up, we're setting new things up.
Yeah, I think this is a season, besides season 1, with the most new people on the roster.
Which I'm like, because I recognize the person in that first match, and I'm very excited to see them in the Lucha Underground ring. And again, like if they lasted longer, because we would have seen more payoff for all of these new people and all these new storylines, I think it would be remembered more fondly. I almost said fondlier. As like wow, this was the start of this and the start of that. But, we just unfortunately don't get that. Yeah. So that's how I'm still watching it, of it being like, ooh, this isn't like, I don't have as much emotion tied to it because we're not paying things off, we're setting up new things, but I'm excited for these new things.
But what if all these new things do pay off and get dealt with by the end? I mean, at the end, there might be some new stuff to lead into next season that never happens. But I don't know. It might be the lighting change, the set change. It looks a little cleaner, and maybe that's my big issue. Just like with The Simpsons. Oh, the later seasons aren't as good as the early ones. But you got to put into context, mediums completely changed. It was all analog. Then it became digital sound. Then it became digital coloring. Then it became digital everything. And then it became from 4:3 to 16:9. There's a lot of different things happening, but maybe that's why I'm not right now thinking Lucha Underground season 4 is that good.
Damn, maybe. I think personally, it's when Lucha Underground fired Conan O'Brien, and by fired Conan O'Brien, I mean they shot him in the head and fed him to Matanza, which is the only way you get out of your contracts in Lucha Underground. It's a fucked up contract system. It's why they got sued.
And as everyone knows, Conan O'Brien's nickname is in the inner circles, Big Dick Johnson.
Yes, of course.
Let me say my joke.
I don't know. I think I'm enjoying a lot of season 4, but I also don't feel like really comparing the seasons. I kind of feel like just kind of like taking them as they come, and that's the thing. Like I don't feel like it does feel cleaner. Like the new temple. But yeah, I think it's just, for me, it's just kind of different. Like I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I really like whatever Antonio is bringing. He's not Dario, and that's a shame because Dario's coked out, instant mashed potatoes out, sort of vibes is like its own level of campiness that Antonio, Dario's father, can't bring. But just by virtue of him being his once thought to be missing father and like all the lore implications he's bringing up, I'm like,
that's camp.
That's camp. It's not as campy as it's not as standalone campy as Dario is.
Yes, if you were to just watch season 4, you'd be like, who is this younger man clearly dressed in a wig with a milky eye? You would think that, but with the context, it is more campy than whatever Dario was doing, because Dario was just like, I'm drugged out sometimes, but this dude's iced out because they're in this ice factory. And then, I think he's a stupider character, and that's in a good way.
100%. But again, only in the context. I think you can I feel that way with a lot of things. Like if I turned it, it's thankfully these are shorter seasons, so it is easier. I still think this is the most accessible wrestling show, but if I were to tune into just season 4, for instance, and just be watching Pentagon, I would not be nearly as excited for his title reign as if I was watching back in season 1.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, I think that's all. Like, those are like the two things. Which again, like,
wait, Sean, we can't be talking about watching something without context when that has been the entire conceit of this podcast. We all have the context, so I think it's weird to try and be like, what would this be like if we had just started here?
I guess I don't know. I guess it's just kind of weird. Of like. I don't know why I guess I'm trying to figure out why I don't feel that way. And maybe it's just I don't know. I don't feel that way about like season 4. I don't feel like season 4 is, I really don't feel like season 4 is lesser.
But like I said,
feel like it's different.
I prefaced this entire thing saying maybe it's the headspace I am in because I had to do that convention. I'm fucking exhausted right now. I truly had to watch this after a like 4 to 5 hour bus ride home yesterday. And then I thought I had to record an episode last night, but then I thought it was going to be this afternoon. And now it's late tonight. So, and then I have to get my wisdom teeth out at the end of the month. And I have like 5 podcasts that I have to edit. Like I'm exhausted, Fair. So that could be it, but it just doesn't seem as snappy. But yeah, and I think starting it with the Aztec warfare was a bad idea.
Really? Okay. I'm like curious because that's a very good point, and I do want to acknowledge and honor that you got a lot going on, and headspace is a very real thing. But you also mentioned that the internet has said things about season 4, and the internet is always right about stuff. So I'm trying to figure. Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, all the seasons are going to be great. But yeah, when you get to season 4, I want to know if there was a different writer, if the producers changed, what happened there to make that. And where's Chavo Guerrero? He was introduced. Maybe that's it. Give me more Chavo.
Though if they're okay, I will. The one point I will concede is that it is deeply fucked up that we do not see more Chavo.
Yeah,
like what the fuck are we doing here?
You can't give us a season without him and then tease him on the first episode, an ill-conceited battle royale right at the beginning, and then nothing.
No Chavo. Oh fuck, there's a new movie coming out that Chavo's attached to, and I'm totally blanking on it. But yeah, Chavo, fucking all-star Chavo Guerrero. Maybe he's connected to the Island of the Dolls. Ooh.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to know about the Island of the Doll? Aren't you excited to find out about the Island of the Dolls?
But also, like, we can't have two dudes with the same kind of hair structures, always smiling, slightly face tilted into camera, while they're, like, holding a thing for children, i.e. a lunchbox or a doll.
That's also weird. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Marty yet, but we're just starting. We're only up to episode 3. We opened this episode in the locker room as the Worldwide Underground's PJ Black and Jack Evans look aghast as Ricky Mundo, I don't even remember his original last name anymore. Good for Ricky. Mandel, thank you so much. Is at the end of his doll's origin story. We saw him debut his doll last week. In Aztec Warfare in week 1. But yeah, it's just this creepy, burned-looking doll, and Ricky's explaining that, after getting those photos from Dario, I found out the Island of the Dolls is a real place, and it's amazing. He assures us that her name is Rosa, and she's super friendly. Jack and PJ do not look to be convinced, but this is fine. Johnny arrives and thanks everyone for coming to this emergency meeting of the Worldwide Underground. Ricky pulls Rosa's string and she says, "You're welcome. This is fine. This is normal." Johnny's moving on. He says the reptile tribe is declaring war on the Worldwide Underground. And if, quote, those slimy turd cutters want a war, they got one.
At first I thought he said the slammin' turd cutters, but the first thing, the adjective is not, or the verb is not what we're really focused on. I was like, did he say turd cutters? And I guess he did.
I believe he said turd cutters. I watched this pretty quickly this morning, so I didn't want to spend too much time Could I ever spend an hour rewinding slow motion playing forward to listen to Johnny Mundo say turd cutters over and over and over again? Yeah. I'm probably going to do that after this recording. But like, I'm pretty, yeah, I got it in one of Johnny Mundo. Maybe it is a different writer because I'm pretty sure they weren't saying turd cutters in seasons 1 through 3.
Or they're just letting Mundo improv, baby.
You know what?
Actually, I'll be honest, someone named Big Dick Johnson, I believe, would also say turd cutters.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Johnny and Taya took it to Drago and Cobra last week. So Johnny tells Jack he's up this week. Go out there and challenge one of them to a match. But Jack Evans pushes back. He is scared of snakes. PJ Black tries to hype Jack through this, reminding Jack, come on, bro, you're the Dragon Slayer. Jack's like, yeah, dragons aren't snakes. Okay, dragons breathe fire and give you honor when slain, which is a good point. But everyone in the underground is like, yo, fuck you, man. You need to please do this. Please do something for this family.
Yeah, if I were to see Shinron, is that the guy's name from Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z? Yeah. The Earth dragon.
I would say, I'd say, what's with that snake in the sky, you know?
Yeah, like, yo, that's actually an amazing point. Jack Evans, what are you going to do if you collect the Dragon Balls?
Yeah.
Are you going to just like look up there and be like, blah, and then chicken shit out and blame your colonics appointment for not doing what the Worldwide Underground need you to do? Which is what happens. He blames he says he has a colonics appointment and leaves. And Johnny's just kind of like, okay then, well, you have your orders. Also, has anyone seen Angelico? I owe that guy an ass kicking, which I love how they kind of like brought that. I love how they brought that back. At first, I thought this was going to be a full babyface turn for Johnny and Taya. Mm-hmm. It looks like we're not going that way. The Worldwide Underground is sticking together.
Yeah.
Which kind of doesn't force Johnny to be a bad guy, but he's such a bad boss that it's a toxic relationship. Like, by sticking with them, it's going to reinforce bad behavior.
Yeah. But, hey, Ricky Mundo has a baby face turn, am I right?
Well, he's got a baby face, all right, attached to that doll that is spinning its head around like the goddamn exorcist. So, yes, he does. So creepy. After everyone leaves, Rosa assures Ricky not to worry. Your secret is safe with me. I'm like, he didn't even pull the string that time. What's going on with this doll? A lot of storylines. So like that's 3 different storylines by my count for the Worldwide Underground.
Uh-huh.
War with the Reptile Tribe, and Helico's out there somewhere. And what the fuck is the Island of the Dolls? Is there a 4th? Am I missing one?
No, I think that's it. Maybe a PJ, he's got to go like eat lunch with Vinny Massaro.
God, you know what? Okay, 4, because I want that. That should be that. I want that, even if that's not on the show. You know how like Big Brother would have like, you can watch stuff from like the cameras when that didn't make it to air. If there was like that for Lucha Underground and it's just PJ and Vinny eating a pizza, hell, featuring Pizza Guy, the true star of season 4.
Oh yeah.
Bring back Chavo, bring back Pizza Guy. And what the fuck is going on with this doll? And you know what? I will say a 4th. We go to the desk, El Mariachi El Bronx, helping us to put the rave in grave as commentary hypes up that main event, the first ever 3-way to the grave match. And we get, I'll say, the 4th Worldwide Underground storyline, the brand new Jack Evans Put Up or Shut Up challenge. Which is, it's just an open challenge. Jack Evans is already in the ring. He's waiting for his opponent.
Oh, man, I bet he wish he didn't do that challenge.
Yeah, but I'm sure glad he did, because we get the debuting XO Lishus. Maybe possibly more famously known as Sunny Kiss, the Concrete Rose. I did not realize she was in Lucha Underground. I am so happy to see her. And I apologize. I believe I know she's gender fluid. I believe she's using she, her pronouns today. But at the time, she was more gender fluid. So commentary refers to her with masculine pronouns.
Yeah, that's what I read, that she is fine with both pronouns, but at least the Wikipedia page gives all she pronouns. So my guess is right now, let's say she.
Hell yeah. Also recently married to Billy Dixon, who is a fucking amazing professional wrestler. Congratulations. I don't know if you're ever going to listen to this, Sonny or Billy, but congratulations on your marriage. As a fan, I remember seeing that being like, fuck yeah. That has nothing to do with this match, but I just wanted to say it. And congratulations to anyone out there getting married in March of 2025. Good for you.
And
marriage is hard.
I kept trying to get Nicole's attention. Nicole is on the couch. You know our configuration. There's a couch along the wall with the windows, and then the other one, that's where I sit to watch the television dead on. Nicole lays down there because she's like, oh, my back hurts. So she's on her phone, and I'm like, well, this is clearly someone Nicole wants to watch. So I just like keep saying key words. I'm like, this is queer as hell. Twerking, gay shit, feminine. I'm saying all this stuff. Nicole is not looking, and then I'm like, well, I guess maybe I go the opposite way to like I start saying things that she hates, and then maybe she'll peel her eyes because I was like, Nicole, you should watch this, and then no. She eventually told me to shut up, and I was like, all right, I guess put up or shut up. I get the ladder.
Damn. The Shaq Evans put up the...
And then I get thrown onto a table.
Wow.
Beat with a chair.
Maybe, headspace is real, going back to that. Like, I do love it when my friends, like, recommend stuff to me, but, like, there are times when, like, someone will be like, hey, Sean, you'll love this. And if I am just, like, in a headspace that's not very receptive, I got better about this as I got older, of just being like, okay, let me avoid it. Because if I interact with it right now, I'm going to resent it. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why, and I can't explain it. But I will resent it if I interact with it right now. Please remind me that this is some shit I would love in like a week from now if I'm doing better.
Okay, all she had to do was move her eyes literally like half an inch over, and she would have seen something cool. Instead, she was probably just doom scrolling on her phone.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, there are times when, like, there's also something to, like, someone telling you this is cool shit that you're immediately like, fuck it. I don't want to I'm speaking for myself, but like times where, like, especially if I'm doom spiraling, where like sort of some of the self like hatred that I'll have, I'll be like, no, I don't. I hate it. I hate it because I would like it. Like it is very like I will actively, something like lizard brain in me will become actively contrarian of like it won't raise my spirits. It will actually make my spirits worse. Dang. Like if I'm gonna something like you need to give yourself that kind of like, I need, like, again, it's something I'm recognized more as the older I got. But like if I'm like not in that headspace to like interact with shit, especially if someone tells me I love it, I need to step back. I need to give myself that space to kind of meet it on that level. But to focus on
wait, real quick.
Yes.
I guess my friend MC Deep is in that every single time I tell him to check out a new band, because 2 years later he'll be like, yeah, man, that band I fucking love. I'm obsessed with them. And I'm like, yeah, I told you that 2 years ago. You'd love them. And you said, nuh-uh.
He might just be very depressed. I don't know MC Deep well enough. I'll ask him if I ever meet him.
You guys would get along together well, I think.
Oh,
you guys would be able to talk about, what's the Jack Napier or whatever that dude's name is.
Mick Napier from the Annoyance Theater? Yeah. Hell yeah. I got to be in the right headspace or we'll become sworn enemies, though.
Yeah, probably. It's like, oh, Steve Barnes is a freak. And it's like, no, he's not.
Steve Barnes, my enemy, my nemesis. I respect you, but I will destroy you.
My Mark Millar's nemesis. I hate you.
What did you think? Let me ask you, though, of Exolicious. We have some great keywords, and like as you knew, like I do think if Nicole like is in the space to like be into watching wrestling, it's hard not to get on board with Exolicious, Sunny Kiss.
Oh yeah, she ruled.
She's amazing. Yeah, I was so happy. I did not realize she was gonna be in this. I was so happy to see her show up.
It's the same reason why we love Jean-Claude Van Damme. If someone can punch you mid-air then land in splits, yeah, I'm gonna give you 2 thumbs up.
Oh my gosh, she has so many splits. It is wild. She's like she is Jean-Claude Van Damme, but gayer and better. Like, it's so good.
Did Rob Van Dam also do splits?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He invented powerlifting move, which is a split over 2 chairs, or just like a suspended split, and then you lift the weight from beneath. So like you put the weight right between like where your gooch is, like between your legs, and you lift the weight while doing a split.
Okay. I do that with a butt plug in, you know?
Oh, okay, nice.
And I lift with the butt plug. Got to do my Kegels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same idea. It's the Van Damme lift, but with Kegels.
So then if someone tries to finger me, I can just pinch off their hand entirely.
No. Unless it's like...
Even if it's consensual, because if it's consensual, I'm going to orgasm, and you better leave as soon as you feel it coming.
Yeah. The room. That's what I say. Ladies, if you're sleeping with me and I'm about to orgasm, leave the room. Leave the apartment. Leave the state. You got to get out of here. I feel like a supervillain who's like, there's a bomb like inside of me, and I'm just telling you, leave. And like the supervillain who becomes a hero at the end because of his noble sacrifice. I'm just like, you have to get. That's how I come. That is how I ejac.
Sean, there's a movie you got to watch called Codename Dynastud. You're gonna love it, man.
That doesn't sound like a real movie.
It is real. We covered it on This Movie's Gay.
Okay, Dynastud? Dynastud. Well, you know who else is a Dynastud? Fucking Lishus making her debut in the Lucha Underground ring.
And Jack Evans and Dynamut.
And Dynamut. But Dynamut's not in this match. EXO takes control immediately with a fast-paced Lucha offense. Arm drag into the split sends Jack into the corner. She gets those splits in immediately. Back handspring into a slap to wake Jack up. Jack gets back on top with a standing moonsault mid EXO's bridge, which was also very cool to see. She's bridging out, and Jack Evans is like, oh, moonsault. Jack gets sent out of the ring, EXO with a crazy dive. Like one of those, like, you are just throwing your body out there. Mm-hmm. God, love to see it. And then after she lands that dive, twerks over Jack's corpse, which, fuck the hell yeah. One of the most violent dives I've seen in this entire temple, and then just twerking over the corpse. Lishus is in Lucha Underground, baby.
This is how you know she played Halo growing up.
Yes, absolutely. This is some real life teabagging. Back in the ring, booty popping moonsault that Jack avoids before going after EXO's eyes. Jack grinds down EXO's arm and shoulder, slowing down the match because Lishus really taking to the Lucha offense very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And this is when Jack has her in a grapple, correct?
There's like an arm bar. There's a couple arm bars that he starts putting in.
So it looked like she was asking Rick Knox, and Rick Knox, as you know, the professional and the referee, I should say, in the ring, comes over. It seems like, obviously, in retrospect, it's, hey, I need to make sure if she's tapping or not. I thought it was him coming over to be a true gentleman and take off the hanging eyelash that would, like the fake eyelashes that were hanging off. That's what Rick Knox, you better take those off, because if Rick Knox is there to, remove glass that's on the ground, or, like a part of a bullwhip that could be impaled into someone, don't know how that would happen. I would think removing an eyelash that could poke into someone's eyes should be a part of your duties as a referee.
I don't know if I disagree, but I am too busy considering how a bullwhip could impale you. Here's my idea.
Okay, all right.
You get a big, long freezer. Boy freezer. Yeah. And you put the bullwhip inside the long boy freezer. Long as a cat, even. And you freeze that bullwhip up real spiky style. So at that point, it's basically a leather icicle.
Yeah.
That's how I'm impaling you with a bullwhip.
And then when the police finally show up, they're like, oh yeah, what could have stabbed this person? It's just because it's thought out. It's that classic case closed Detective Konan episode.
Mm-hmm. The doctor was the mother.
Well, no, it was someone. What? They're like, oh, what stabbed the guy? And it was someone had made a like big old spike out of ice, and then they just slammed him on it. But then they're like, well, why is this water around him? What could that mean? But then little Detective Konan.
Yeah, you put the fox in the boat with the chicken feed, and then you take them across the river. Riddles.
I would love a Detective Conan the Barbarian where it's Detective Conan, but he's, like a jacked little kid who wrestles and has red hair and writes comedy,
Yeah. And then Big Dick Johnson puts him in the cage with Matanza and fires him. He says, you give me the monorail episode or you get Matanza.
But then he pulls out his big sword and Big Dick Johnson is going to say, whoa, okay, this feels like real life He-Man right now. I'm going to let you go. Just this once.
Well, and that's how we got Konan on TBS. Oh. That's a true story. Yeah. Variety won't report that story, okay? You only get that from Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, baby.
I loved Detective Conan the O'Brien. I loved his special, I Want My Show Again. You've seen that documentary, right?
Absolutely. Was it Never Stop?
Yeah.
Or something something along those lines.
It was called Never Stop, Never Stopping?
Can't Stop, Won't Never Stop? Something like that. Something about how Conan O'Brien is an unhealthy Catholic boy from Boston and does not understand how to quit or rest.
Yeah.
It's good, but also is like one of the best voices in comedy, both like in terms of quality and in terms of decency. Like just a good dude.
Best voice in comedy: Joe Pera, Aparna Nanchala, Joe Firestone. You're like, no, you're just saying the most relaxing, James.
Hell, I don't disagree with you though. You kidding? You think I don't still need Joe Pera talks you to sleep every night? I'm not doing well. Like that. It's yes. Thank you, relaxing voices in comedy. Though I didn't just meet his Dan Licata's cousin. I just found out this guy was Dan Licata's cousin. I know Dan Licata's cousin. That's crazy to me.
I don't know who Dan Licata is.
He does the Brooklyn show with Joe Pera and Connor O'Malley. I want to say it's like Joe, Dan, and Connor. If you've seen, I think it's the Joe Pera Buys You a Christmas Tree episode. He plays the DJ, like the radio. He's the radio DJ in the Who episode of Joe Pera Talks to You.
Okay, it might be an old episode. It might be one I haven't seen yet, so I don't know.
It's a good one. Recommend it. Also, Dan Licata, not a relaxing voice in comedy, but very loud and aggressive. I give him 2 thumbs up. Back to the match. Jack throws a back handspring eye gouge into the corner, which is just a back handspring followed by an out eye gouge. Very effective maneuver. Exo fights out of another submission, split-legged jawbreaker into push-off leg drop cover for 2. Jack back flips out of the corner. Words are hard. Jack back flips out of the corner. Tornado kick into the standing corkscrew. Jack covers for 2. We're pushing each other here. Exo brings Jack down off of the top rope with a Stratisfaction head scissors, climbs to the middle rope for that front split leg drop. Which is exactly what it sounds like. She does a front split off of the second rope, lands straight onto the mat in a leg drop. It is brutal. Wrestling is drag sometimes, and it's so fun to show people who like aren't super familiar with wrestling and who like think of it as very one way, which like it very often is a very like old school toxic masculinity, muscly men. But then you see wrestlers like Sonny Kiss in this episode, Exolicious, and you're like, no, wrestling is so many things. So we get that front split leg drop, cover for 2. Exo climbs back up to the top rope this time. Jack tries beating her up there, but Exo counters, crashes Jack back into the mat with an avalanche X Factor cover. Exolicious wins her first match. She wins the Jack Evans Put Up or Shut Up challenge in 5 minutes and 54 seconds.
Really didn't think it was going to end that way. I thought she gets her shit in first. Jack starts overpowering. She overpowers him, but ultimately gets defeated. That seems what it happens mostly when new dudes show up, when new people show up, but like
especially when you have something. Yeah, this was amazing. Especially when you have something called the Jack Evans Put Up or Shut Up challenge. You have a challenge named after you, and in your debut challenge, you lose. Yeah. Which I love. It rarely happens because there also aren't a lot of people that can like keep going after that. And Jack Evans is just such a goofy little bastard, like little bastard bad guy that like he can carry. I would love to see the challenge continue and Jack just continue to lose.
See, this is my thing. Jack Evans used to be a winning singles person. But once he went into Worldwide Underground, yeah, they had the belts for a little bit. But right after that, they've been nothing but losers.
Yeah. And I'm sure the psychological abuse that him and PJ face at the hands of Johnny Mundo doesn't help, especially Jack. Like PJ gets it, but not to the extent that Jack gets it. I feel like Jack gets it truly the worst. Outside of maybe Ricky, but Ricky, who's so enamored with Johnny, he doesn't realize it. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, like it's something that I guess right now in AEW, Max Caster is doing something against the I forget what he calls it, like the 5-minute Max Caster like challenge or something. And it's like the sort of gimmick is that he has gone to the patent office and he has patented the best wrestler alive as a nickname. So like he's the best wrestler alive legally. He has the documentation to prove it. Mm-hmm. So he goes out there every week to be like, I'm the best wrestler alive. I have the documentation to prove it. And this is the best wrestler alive challenge. And then he gets destroyed. Some big dude comes out and decks the shit out of him. And it works, and it gets him on TV every week. It sort of puts over this gimmick, this delusional gimmick, and it doesn't happen very often where we can see this sort of, I have a weekly challenge that I lose every week, but when done well, is just so good and funny, and lets other people, like the debuting Exolicious, really gives them a chance to shine. It's so good for the ensemble.
That'd be really funny if Pepsi Challenge they kept doing is just every single time they choose Coke.
Like, motherfuckers, we're ruined. We got to bring back Crystal Pepsi. Anything. The Pepsi Challenge where they challenge Crystal Pepsi just so they can get a win. Like, we know we beat ourselves, but we just needed a dub. We go to the locker room where Fénix is getting ready. Oh, excuse me. No, we go to the Lucha Underground champ. Penta has an in-ring promo. He has the microphone. He says, at Aztec Warfare, 19 warriors tried to take this title from me, and they all failed. Then Cueto's monster tried to take this title, and he failed. And for anyone else who wants this title, you will fail too. No matter who tries to take this title from me, their bones will be broken, because I am Pentagon Dark. Cero miedo.
I really wanted Jack Black to come out and start singing, Cueto tried to defile the Penta,
but the Penta will live on.
Yeah.
And then, and I'm pretty sure Dave Grohl plays drums on that, or he shows up as the devil in the music video. And I don't know if they ever did do it, or maybe they just talked about it like in a podcast. But like Dave Grohl will be drumming, and at some point they go, grunge rock tried to defy the metal. And I always in my head just picture Dave Grohl standing up for a second going, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on. And then just getting back into the song. But yes, that's the metal by Tenacious D, if you're wondering what we're referencing.
But
maybe
also,
we should tell them.
Like grunge totally defied the metal. Like they said, screw this shit. We're taking it on, and they did.
Yeah, no, hair metal was gonzos, baby. Sorry, poison heads. But every rose has its thorn, and that thorn is all the way up your butt, kicking you out the door.
Sorry, Twisted Sister. I actually like Twisted, and my sister's better, okay?
Yeah, sorry, Skid Row, but how about you take yourself Sebastian Bach to the end of the line? I'm listening to Pearl Jam, Daddy.
I guess was Guns N' Roses wasn't. They were adjacent.
They were adjacent. Yeah. They in some ways they kind of like they're just as responsible. I feel like for like taking metal out of that hair metal scene. Yeah, and I think they would have been broke like right before Nirvana.
Hey, Van Hagar.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say anything bad. David Lee Roth sucks, okay? Like, get that dude out of here. Van Hagar's better.
This isn't a bit anymore. These are just our takes.
Yeah, you can. I tried, I listened to I was trying to listen to every single Van Halen album in a row. And once you get to, I think it's 1984 is the first Van Hagar one, you can feel like it feels like a celebration and a weight has been lifted off from that band. They're like, oh, thank God that stupid fuck isn't here anymore.
Yeah, but then like Eddie's not like a great dude either. Eruption is he's an amazing guitarist. Eruption, still one of the greatest solos of all time, but like not a great dude. You kind of find out after David Lee Roth leaves the band, it's like, oh, y'all were pretty much fuckheads. Like there wasn't a single individual fuckhead in this situation. Sammy Hagar is probably the only decent person in this entire outfit.
Could be. All I know is just Brett and Howard on Who Charted, Howard Kramer, aka Dragon Boy Suede, they talk about David Lee Roth in like such high regard, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see it. He's not good.
I don't know. Maybe it's because the only Van Halen album I ever listened to, I love, but it's the 1979 self-title, which is like, what's on there?
Running with the Devil.
Yep, Running with the Devil, Eruption, which doesn't feature David Lee Roth because it is just a song, or it's just a guitar solo. The one, I'm the one you love. Come on, baby, show your love. And then he goes the ow, but he does it really good. Yeah. I don't know. It's like that's my only like. And then I don't think it's even Van Halen though. The I can't drive 55.
I think that's just solo Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, so like I like Sammy Hagar, I guess, because I like that song, but that's really the only one. I don't know a lot of Van Hagar.
You're a big Montrose fan.
I don't have the time. Montrose? Did
That's
Montrose
Sammy Hagar's first band, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, Penta is in the ring.
Yeah.
He finishes his promo. His music starts to play, and as he puts down the mic, Cage slides into the ring to jump him from behind. Cage, who is not at Aztec Warfare, who has not been able to face the Lucha Underground champion yet. He takes the title belt, loads it up, cracks it across Penta's head. Then he sets up the table on the outside, brings Penta to the apron, loads up a falling power bomb, like the way Penta floats before getting crashed through this table. Brutal. Cage takes the ring and the mic to introduce himself as the next Lucha Underground champion. You can't break me, Penta, because I'm not a man. I'm a machine.
Hey, Cage, how about you try telling that to an Xbox 360, McDonald's ice cream machine, Joy-Cons, alternators, and pretty much every single machine out there. Machines very easily breakable. Tell that to street fighters always beating up on cars.
James, my car. Oh, my car. I don't disagree with you, but I would also never say this to Cage's face.
Oh, I'll say it to his face right now. All of a sudden, he comes in the Discord chat, and he's like, hey, guys, heard you guys are really big fans. I was like, you can break a machine, and I will show you. And he's like, all right, screw you guys. Bye.
That's the entire goal of this podcast, is to get Brian Cage disappointed in us.
To walk.
We're just trying to walk Brian Cage.
We can walk a crowd.
Room. We sure can, but we got to walk over to this locker room where Fénix is getting ready for his 3-way to the grave, as Melissa Santos is in there, and she's telling him that she can't lose him. Very soft lighting, very romantic scene. Fénix assures Melissa, you won't lose me. Last time I was in one of these, I won, remember? Melissa's concerned, though, because he's never been in a 3-way to the grave, and the variable of the second opponent in a match already so dangerous as grave consequences. She's scared, and Fénix is almost too chill about this whole thing. We actually saw this sort of like very almost too chill Fénix in the last time he was feuding with Mill back in season 1. Because he did win grave consequences, but he did lose a couple of very important matches to Mill. While again, just being so chill to the point of arrogance, I would say. Like there's a fine line between proud and pride, and Fénix loves to step on that line. He says, don't worry, I'm the man of 1,000 lives. Melissa's like, yeah, and they all belong to me.
Ooh.
and then they smooch. They do a smooch. That's romantic. That's romantic as fuck, right? I'm like terminally single and loving it. But like if someone's like, I have 1,000 lives because of my magic Fénix powers, that is the reason Katrina wants this match to begin with. She wants to bury me alive so she can steal my Fénix powers. But it means I have 1,000 lives, and then my girlfriend was like, yeah, and they all belong to me. That shit's super romantic, right?
Yeah. It's like when Usagi's talking to Endamian. What's his real name? I don't know. Let's go Endamian because I can't remember.
Wait, who's Usagi?
Usagi from Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, Endamian, Prince Endamian.
Fuck, what is Tuxedo Mask's real name?
I'm it totally is Endamian in the past.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand what but continue.
And he's like, hey, it doesn't matter what happens now because we know in 1,000 years we're still gonna be together, we're still gonna be in love, and we have a daughter together, and maybe another daughter, or maybe that other daughter's actually somehow the personification of you turned into a little form. James read the entire manga, still doesn't understand Chibi Chibiusa.
But it's romantic is the point. Yeah. And I agree. I love it. Hell
guys, listen to Magical Meatball Girls to hear me try and make sense of Chibi Chibiusa.
And keep listening to this podcast you're already listening to as we make our way to 3-Way to the Grave.
Oh, Sean, the number 3, it has significance. It has the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. It's the triad, but not the Black Lotus triad. Don't think of that. Think of...
No, two-thirds of them are already in WWE, I'm pretty sure.
So think of the triple triad. That's 3 threes. Oh, my God. Okay. This was Stryker in the beginning talking about numerology, I guess.
Yeah, Stryker kind of goes off on some stuff. I do love, though, by the way, this is going to be Mil Muertes with Katrina, Jeremiah Crane, and Fénix. During Mil's entrance, Vampiro asks Stryker, how do you prepare for a match like this? Like, you can't walk into Gold's gym and tell the trainer you need to get in shape to bury someone alive. And Stryker says something, he says something about, like, from the moment we're born, our lives are the preparations for our death. So in the way, they've all kind of been preparing for this match. And Vampiro sighs disappointedly, and he agrees. He's like, that's a very deep philosophical point. But none of us are out there living our lives, thinking and preparing for someone like Mil to be the one to put us in that casket, you know? I'm like, I love it. I love how they go, like, Vampiro poses a very, like, interesting question. Bad Stryker has an answer that is like deep and philosophical that bears meaning. Like, we're always preparing for our deaths. That is in some ways our lives. And Vampiro acknowledging it, but bringing it to the immediate point. But then there's Mil. Yes, sure, but there's Mil.
And I will comment on that saying, I believe everyone isn't preparing for death at the hands of Mil, but I believe they're all hoping for a death at the hands of Mil.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent point. Yes.
I'll actually change that, not hands of Mil, but the hams of Mil. Kadoosh. That's a whole goddamn Christmas ham he's rocking. 2 of them in his pants.
Famously, the cakes of Mil are legendary and are as legendary as they are deadly.
If goddamn that queen pointed and said, let them eat cake at Mil's ass, everyone in France would have been fed, they would have been happy, no longer horny, and she wouldn't have been decapitated via guillotine.
No, in fact, well, I don't know. Mil might actually still decapitate her via guillotine.
Oh yeah, with his big ol' arms.
Yeah, he is a killer.
But she would have died happy.
Absolutely. You know what? For true. If Mil Muertes just murdered half the population of France, like if the reign of terror, instead of it being this Jacobean like uprising and this sort of like this bastardization of French Revolution, instead it was just Mil Muertes wreaking havoc across the countryside, I think that would be better for France in the long run.
Okay, well maybe just kill the people in power. He doesn't need to go kill not people in power.
No, but unfortunately, that is like how that revolution sort of turned out.
Yeah, but if he's there to like kill the queen, with a big old guillotine, and remember, they're not angry anymore. They just had big old cake in the form of, Mil Mortis's dockers. They're not rioting anymore.
I don't think Mil will kill as many innocent people, well, as the original revolutionaries. He's Mil Muertes. He's got to kill some innocent people.
I know. If my ass is being eaten all day, every day, I don't have an angry bone in my body.
Well, you
I have a
you tell that to Mil
bone
Muertes
still, but
You tell that to Mil Muertes, who has that ass and is still out there killing. That's the sexual tolerance of Mil Muertes. He gets his ass eaten out daily, probably by Katrina. Which, to remind everyone, Hachi Machi, ay, Katrina.
He's getting death.
She's lick of deathing his ass every day, and he's still out there murdering innocent people. That's how insatiable the bloodlust of the murderer, the man of 1,000 deaths, Mil Muertes is.
Yeah, well, let's get into this because we have like 15 minutes to discuss this whole match.
Yes, we do. And yeah, we kind of touched on it, but this, I do want to spend some time on why we're having this match. James, do you remember why we're having this match?
Katrina needs power, and she can get that from Fénix. We found that out. That's what she wanted to do all along in the first season because she wants that gauntlet. She no longer wants to be a ghost. She kind of wants to no longer exist. But then Jeremiah Krang is like, hey, I want Katrina's eye as well. So then he gets involved in it too.
100%. Katrina needs Fénix's life force to alleviate herself from this condition of ghostliness, and Krang is just there to impress Katrina. Like, he's obsessed. Match starts off. Krang takes his time choosing his target. He sets his sights on Mil, rushes him down, immediately gets knocked on his ass. Fénix meets Mil in the middle of the ring, misses the springboard, but takes him off his feet with a flying, fast-paced violence that only Fénix can do. Krang washes Mil in the corner. Fénix washes Krang. Krang stays on Fénix. There's trading a lot of offense in the ring. Classic three-way offense. As soon as somebody gets an upper hand, the other guy comes back in to knock him back down.
But they get up again.
And then they get up again. They take the fight to the outside. Fénix with a scary-looking moonsault from the top rope to the floor, but lands, takes Krang out, and I love it. And then Mil just kind of recovers, comes back over, sees all of his friends hanging out outside the ring, and is like, oh, I can fly. And there is something so terrifying about seeing Mil Muertes, the hams of 1,000 deaths, climbing to the top rope and launching himself, flying through the air all the way to the floor, takes out both men. Kadoosh.
Oh, and then Stryker says, match like this, you should expect it not to take place in the ring. And I'm like, no, Stryker, you should expect every match to take place in the ring because that's what it's there for.
Yeah, why else do we have a ring? I have a parking lot, Matt. You just want to, I don't know. I'm just thinking about Kimbo Slice. I'm going to rest in peace, Kimbo Slice. I would totally start a wrestling promotion dedicated to parking lot brawls and just basically make Kimbo Slice be my Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm a Himbo Spice. I'm in the Dune world and I'm a hot man selling spice to everyone.
Oh, people of the world, Himbos spice up your life.
Spice up your life. Oh.
Bill starts throwing flour. There are 3 coffins also just set up around the ring. Mil takes one of the flowers off of them, starts throwing them around before bouncing Krang's head off of a coffin, then bouncing his soul off of the coffin with a power bomb. Just getting real violent real quick with Mil. He loads for another power bomb through the announce desk, but Krang recovers to fight him off. Krang sets the still recovering Fénix up in a chair ringside. Famously, he takes he runs all the way around the ring for that boot in the chair. Mil interrupts though with that patented spear, the Reaper's Trident, Poor Crane. Just absolutely leveled by this shit.
Yeah, because this has happened I think it's happened multiple times. Never run around the ring to super kick, especially when Mill is there, because he will spear you. It's happened once, it'll happen again.
Yeah, but also, like, don't tell Crane that, because secretly I love to see it.
Well, if Mill's not there, it's fine.
Yeah, but selfishly, I love to see Mills spear the shit out of Crane, taking a long time doing a charge attack.
I will say, around this time, I asked Nicole, who do you think will win? And she goes, And I was like, well, that's got to be Mill. It's only one syllable. I said, Mill, and she kind of shakes her head, yes.
Thanks, Nicole. Thanks. Still outside, Mill sets a table up vertically against a barricade. Wild way to set up this table. Like, he leans it against the barricade, against that low balcony. But he leaves one of the legs up, and he doesn't move the chairs out of the way. This is a wild table setup. Fénix gets back up, tightrope walks along the railing to fly into Mill, take him down with a Hurricane Rana. Crane gets back up, meets Fénix with a hard shot from the flowers. Mill now gets back up, again, that classic three-way style of rhythm. Back up, meets Crane with a choke slam, again into the coffin. Just Crane's body denting the shit out of these coffins. Mill now sets Fénix up for the flatliner. Crane tries to interrupt, but Mill pulls him in for the double flatliner. Fénix and Crane now start working together out of necessity. They elbow their way out. Mill switches up for a double choke slam. They super kick their way out. Then Fénix launches off of Crane's back for a Hurricane Rana. Mill lands against the table. Crane with a power bomb, putting through that again insanely set up table. Such a good, and there was a hiccup and they recovered so well. Such a beautiful table break. You'll love to hear that wood go correct.
Goodish.
No rest for the wicked, though, as Crane and Fénix fight their way up the stairs.
Vampiro screams, is he fish hooking him? And it's like, what? Don't say it like that, sir.
There are so many worse things that are happening. There is no disqualifications. Actually, I feel like Vampiro says it in a way because he just loves cheating and violence. Not in an admonishing way, just like, ooh boy, they're fish hooking each other. Yeah. Stick your dirty little fingers in each other's mouths and pull.
Yeah, but fish hooking to me is like if you have a curved penis and it goes in someone's mouth.
Oh, okay. Well, I would like to be clear.
He's fish hooking him. Yeah, guys, he is. Watch this episode. There's straight up full mouth penetration, fish hook style.
Wait, no, this is a real thing in fighting. Like that is the call in like mixed martial arts as well. Of like you can't fish hook. It's not about penises. It's a real thing, not about penises. I need you to believe me.
And I'm not talking Disney's fish hooks. I'm talking about Cinzy's fish hook.
No. Back to the match. Fénix and Crane fight to the top of the stairs. So they're all above where the crowd's sitting. They're at the top of the stairs there. Crane loads up Fénix, delivers a pile driver onto the cement. And he stands up, he's looking out, just as Vampiro asks, where's Mill? And as he does, the doors behind Crane slide open, and Mill stares death into the back of Crane's head. Ooh, I loved this shot. Crane slowly turns around and Mill just takes him. He pulls Crane by his ears into that doorway he's standing in, and they're kind of sliding doors.
It's an elevator door.
Thank you. It is. It's an elevator door, and I think it's marked to the refrigerated units because this is a converted ice factory or something like that.
Whatever, an ice machine.
This season's temple is a converted ice house. So he pulls him into these elevator doors, right into the elevator doorway. Grabs the doors and just slams them into Jeremiah's head for a couple of times before finally just punching him in the head and knocking him the fuck out.
And Stryker says, oh, those heavy doors. And I'm like, no. Those are not heavy, nor are they doors. Because they are foam piling into him. And you can see that the doors, they're not doors because they're at an angle at one point. This is campy. Yeah. This is cheesy. It fucking rules.
This and it's some shit that I also 100% would rather have it be this way and do a cool like, it's a very Jason Michael Myers style force moment of horror to see Mill just behind you and then slamming you into these elevator doors. And I'd rather have them do it so it's done in a way that is like safe and like reliable with like campy ass cheap foam doors than like, I don't know, some other like, there are some nerds, and shouts out, you love your wrestling however you love your wrestling. They're like, no, I need it to be like a real door, or like, why doesn't he do a real move? I'm like, I don't fucking care. This shit looked cool as hell.
You should have said, I'd rather it be this than a McMahon try to throw another wrestler through glass only for it not to break, or vice versa.
Two things. Yeah, it was Kurt Angle throwing Shane through the glass.
Yeah.
And I love that spot too. Listen, I fucking love the shit out of that spot as well. I'm a complicated man, James. I like a lot of shit about wrestling. What can I say? If it's good, it's good. That's all I got. Yeah. Mill starts. Where am I? Oh, there's a little bit more up here. As Mill kind of like starts dog walking Crane to the balcony, as we see like in the background, Fénix climb a service ladder up to like kind of like on the roof of that elevator.
Well, before we see that, it looks like Mill's going to throw Crane off from the second floor.
That's happening at the same time. Like as Mill's setting that up, we just see Fénix in the background scurry up that ladder.
I guess I didn't see that because I was focused on there's standing room only seats up there. So this man is like pushing his, I'm assuming, girlfriend or wife back, or maybe fiance, because
hey, congrats.
She looks concerned. She's like, I thought this was fake. How will you fake a man throwing another man off from a like 1-story high building? It looks like she wants to save Jeremiah Krang, but luckily someone saves him.
Yeah, or like Crane fights his way out. By the way, that is also you. I forget which match. I think whatever match it was, where you're like, that's fake blood though, right? That's fake. That has to be fake. And I'm just like, no. During Ultima Lucha 3, I'm just like, no.
No, I think it was probably during Ultima Lucha 1.
It was also during Ultima Lucha Trace. I think it was like during, just because I was listening back. It might have been the Fox, like Fox is back after that ambulance match. Yeah. But yeah, Crane fights his way out. Does he fight his way out of it, or does someone get him off of Mill's shoulders?
Well, I think he fights himself off, or regardless, Fénix from further up just straight up jumps, leaps in the air onto them.
It is beautiful, very, very reminiscent of that Angelico spot from the roof to the ring. But yeah, Fénix from above that elevator, flying into them, taking them out. Mill, however, recovers first and just kind of punches both of them all the way back down to ringside. Mill pulls out another table, horizontal this time, sets that up outside of the ring. Then this is our third table, sets that up inside of the ring. Mill throws Crane back into the ring, sets him onto the table sets him on the top rope, trying to superplex him through that table. However, Fénix intercepts the back of Mill's head with a spinning heel kick. Mill rolls out of the ring, takes a little nap on that table out there. It's like sometimes a table needs to be a cot. We all deserve a nap. Mm-hmm. It's exhausting out there. So yeah, Mill's recovering. Fénix is on the ring. Crane's still set up on that top rope. Fénix now is gonna try to Frankensteiner Crane through that table in the ring. However, Crane escapes, counters by alley-ooping Fénix like over the top of his head. Just kind of sends Fénix from that top rope all the way to the floor. However, Fénix decides to break his fall using Mill and that table. So like incidental body splash through Mill through the table.
Jeremiah Krang leapfrogged Fénix onto Mill for Mill's 100 or 1,001 death. What 100 and 1,000 and 101st 1,000th and first death? How do you say that?
1,001st, yeah. Well, I think 1,000th and he dead. Point is, Mill is dead.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah, he kills him. He kills him real good. Fénix is able to recover immediately because again, that cakey ham-filled man broke his fall. Runs back into the ring. Crane, however, recovers by this point. Avalanche pile driver to Fénix through the table, points to Katrina, who points back. Crane, by the way, you're not hearing that incorrectly. His name is Jeremiah Crane, Crane. James pronounced it Krang with a G because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
All right. Just for the new listeners. So yeah, Crane recovers. He points to Katrina. Katrina points back at Crane because Crane might not be her man, but she needs Phoenix's life force one way or the other.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
That's what she's here for. She is trying she lost the gauntlet, so she no longer can make that deal with her mother about getting her life back. So she is going into alternate routes. Well, if I can't get my life back from the amulet that took my life away from me, let me soul suck Fénix. So yeah, Crane slowly rolls Fénix into an open coffin, gets a hand on the lid as Evilise, Crane's ex-girlfriend, the person who brought Crane to the temple. Jeremiah Crane debuted with at the very least her ride. Like they came to the temple together.
Yes.
And she that's how he got signed. He's like, yeah, babe, I'm just here to support you because I'm your boyfriend and I'm not trying to get back with my crazy specter ex-girlfriend Katrina. That's not even he got here under the guise of being a loyal boyfriend to Katrina.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, Evilise.
But she didn't want him to fight. She's like, this is my thing, leave. But then he's like, no, I'm going to keep fighting.
Because he was never here for Evilise. He was always here for Katrina.
Yeah.
And he proved that by attacking Evilise at the end of her Ultima Lucha match.
Yeah, and he's about to get his bean rocked, is what I think Vampiro says.
Evilise.
And then I wrote down
hammer. Yeah.
Aerosmith, The Cars,
What?
bass
Huh?
tones, bean rock.
Oh, great.
Because they're all from Boston.
Based rock bands?
Yeah,
great.
Bean
The fact that you didn't name Boston.
Well, Boston, who gives a shit about them? They're not really from Boston. They're probably from Quincy.
I bet you're right. Evilise is here with a hammer, which is such a fucking brutal weapon. And she attacks him in the back of the knee. This entire exchange is just so nasty. It was very visceral. As she's screaming, you thought I'd forget about you? You thought you could just leave me like that? Fuck you. She's bringing the hammer down, back of his knee, his hand. Literally any body part he puts up in her way, she meets with a hammer. And she asks, how does it feel? As Crane, just exhausted, just beaten with a hammer, literally.
How does it feel to be? She starts singing that Avril Lavigne song.
Yeah. As Crane puts up the middle finger, shoves it in her face, Evilise laughs as she takes the finger, breaks it, and smashes the hammer across his dome. This is what cuts him up. Now Crane is bleeding. Another hammer to the head puts him in the coffin. Evilise shuts the first coffin lid and eliminates Crane as that procession of death carries Crane away. And we break for commercial.
Oh, yeah.
We come back. Fénix and Mill. I know we're running. I'll try to speed this one up. Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just looking for my Krang action figure, but I don't think it's there anymore.
His name is Crane. It is not Krang.
Okay, then I was looking for my Tonka Big Crane action figure, okay?
Great. Fénix and Mill, opposite sides of the ring as we come back from commercial. Mill is clearing out the table debris. Fénix takes advantage. Starts a little bit of offense, but Mill stuffs Fénix with a power slam before a common tactic between Mill and Fénix. Mill starts ripping at Fénix's mask. Another Reaper's Trident near the corner sets up Fénix near an exposed bottom turnbuckle. I didn't catch exactly when this happened, but at some point, this bottom corner of the turnbuckle, the protective padding was removed, so it's just exposed. And Mill takes Fénix's legs and catapults him face first into that exposed turnbuckle, busting him wide open. We get a bloody-nosed bird on our hands.
Yeah, Melissa throughout this has been just screaming like, no, Mill, don't. Why is everyone trying to kill my boyfriend? Should I be trying to kill my boyfriend?
Wait, no, hold on. No.
Will I get the power of him? I don't know.
I do love how how Melissa gets involved in this match. It is not just the damsel. No, it is she goes out of her way to basically will the crowd back into it. Like there's at one point where she's like, no, fuck this shit. Come on, Fénix. I'm like, yeah, that's ride or die energy. And especially she does this in Mill's face at one point. She sees Mill, she does not back down. She just kind of looks him in the face like, yeah, fuck this guy, Fénix, leading the crowd into these animo chants, into willing Fénix back into this match.
There was this Uber driver that was ride or cry outside of the bus station yesterday. He was asking everyone, hey, yeah, I'm on Uber. I can give you a ride. And everyone was saying no, as they should be, because it seems suspicious. So he was crying.
Good. Well, good. If you cry more, you big old creep, I assume.
Me too.
Mill unties the bottom rope. This lets him bring a coffin into the ring, which he sets up in a corner. Fénix avoids being thrown into the coffin, dodges, drop kicks Mill halfway into the coffin, then drop kicks him again fully into the coffin. He goes to shut that lid, but Mill gets a hand up just in time. They strength off for a little bit until Mill finally throws Fénix off of that lid. Fénix then goes on to create space for another running offense, but runs into a belly-to-belly overhead suplex into the coffin lid. That did not look fun. Mill then throws the coffin down off of that diagonal turnbuckle, so it's horizontal again. Mill loads up for a power bomb. Fénix fights out. He hits the ropes for a handspring back elbow. Mill turns that into a choke slam. Mill lifts Fénix to his knees. Mill hits the ropes, but Fénix gets a second win just in time for a rolling pop-up cutter. Man of 1,000 deaths meet man of 1,000 lives. All of them are Melissa's. Hachi machi. Fénix with a hook kick flies off of the top rope into Mill's waiting grasp. Spiral chokeslam onto the coffin lid once again.
Oh.
Fénix, though, burning as many of those 1,000 lives as he can. Hurricane Rana to take Mill off of his feet. Top rope drop kick to send him to hell. Fénix flies off of the top rope again, but Mill catches him midair. Devastating flatliner. And that's all but the cookie crumbling as Mill opens the coffin outside the ring, carries Fénix's body into the open box, dumps him in, shuts the lid, wins the match. Mill in 20 minutes and 19 seconds.
Yeah, fuck that bird.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I'm Team Mill. That's who I was hoping for. So I'm glad Nicole and I synced up on that.
I am Melissa here, as she can barely call the winner, her voice cracking as she says Mill's name. Mill goes to touch Katrina, who immediately pulls away. She doesn't even look Mill in the face. She is so focused on this coffin containing the spirit of Fénix.
She's like, there's no eye contact while I'm licking of death.
Pretty much. Mill rolls into the ring as Katrina finally kind of allows that procession to carry Fénix away. And Melissa, just in awe, cannot believe what she is seeing.
And Stryker's surprised that Katrina is turned on by Carnage when it's like, duh, her and 75% of the locker room is too. You've collected a bunch of violence weirdos. The old promoter was too. Come on, man.
This is Twisted Metal. This is the Twisted Metal tournament. Daria was Calypso, and you just got a whole bunch of weird, violent pervs driving their trucks around, shooting the craziest shit at each other.
New season's out soon, baby.
Can't fucking wait. Joe.
Bizarre Adventure.
Ooh. Well done. I like that. We get a post-credit segment. New dungeon, Who This? As Matanza is no longer behind bars. Somehow, though, given less freedom, as he is chained. Chained by the wrists standing up, like Jesus and Barabbas in all those Bible movies.
He's standing on a landmine while a dude in a wheelchair is like, oh yeah, if you don't tell me where the money is and all the heroin's at, I'm gonna put you on a crucifix and start shooting bullets near you.
And then everyone's like, what? And we're just like, you gotta see Machine Gun Schoolgirl?
Sailor Suit and Machine Gun.
Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Thank you very much. You want to listen to that episode over on the Patreon. Antonio comes in. He says, my boy, I know it's not much, but it's better than the cell. Which, like, I don't think it is. Because at least in the cell, Matanza could walk around. Like, he is chained by his wrists. He can't even sit down. It's very uncomfortable. Antonio bets Matanza is wondering how he disappointed his father so much. Quote to Antonio, when I offered your service to the gods, I asked to retain a sliver of your humanity. They granted a father's wish, so they gave me this key, which holds your soul. And he holds up that key we've seen ever since the introduction of Matanza. When Dario took you from me, he said he planned to exploit the monster. But he wore this key close to his heart. He cared for his brother as I cared for my son. But this caring got Dario killed and made you weak. And the one thing I will not tolerate is weakness. So I know what I must do. You will always be my child, but you're meant to be so much more than this. And Antonio throws the key to Matanza. Destroy the soul of my son and become a god. Do it. And light beams as Matanza screams and he breaks his chains. Antonio finally says, good boy, my boy. As Dario leaves behind his son forever.
Antonio,
thank you. As Antonio leaves behind his son forever, and the godly monster that Matanza has become is ready to take his power.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. Both as like this is the shit I mean, like I can't say like season 4 isn't eating right now.
Yeah, I guess this part has paid off a lot. We know what the key's about. It would have been very funny, Sean, if Famous B had tried to pass the key to Matanza.
If Famous B is the one like, hey, I wonder if it could be, I feel like Famous B wouldn't know the lore at all. He'd just be like, hey, I heard this is going to be really cool. Like somebody tells him that this is a good idea and it's just like Antonio going, no, that's a really bad idea. And Famous B is like, huh? And then Matanza just like snaps his neck because now he has no shackles. He is unbound by both his mortality, which it looked like was the only thing keeping him in any sort of check. Like, Matanza's going wild.
I brought up Famous B because of when he tried to pass the brass knuckles and he just completely biffed it, passed it to someone else, and then, Tejano gets punched in the head.
Yeah, he passed Penta, who's not even in this scene. Like, Famous B slides the key to Matanza and Penta just shows up and takes it.
And then was like, huh? Matanza over the head.
Punches Matanza. He Zoidberg whoops out of the ring. Or out of the dungeon, and then the rest of season 4 is a road trip buddy comedy between Antonio and Famous B chasing down Penta, who now has the key.
Hell yeah.
Big Dick Johnson, right? Conan the O'Brien Barbarian. Write that one up for me. Get that on my desk by Monday.
But what you should get over on Monday is maybe heading over to twitch.tv/Goose Von Kaiser, where Sean might be streaming on Monday.
Might be. Honestly, taking a big break from streaming, getting back into stand-up, which is very exciting. Yeah, I had my first show. We're recording these a little ahead of time. Did my first show at the end of June. In like a year and a half, and felt really good. Might have a show July 10th. I think this will be out by then. Might have a show July 10th at the Conservatory. Find me on social media, Sean Marciniak on all the platforms. And I don't know, direct message me. Be like, yo, are you doing that show? Or are you doing other shows? Or do you think I'm cool? Yes or no? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you listen to this podcast, that answer is going to be yes.
You have that new bit where you're like, hey, you guys got weird friends out there? Oh,
no.
Boy, I got a real weird friend. Loves Yogi Bear and shit. What's the deal with that? What are you, a kid?
You think I go on stage and just am mean to my friends? No, that's not my act. That would be...
You love roasting people, as we were talking about while going to the Phoenician scheme.
Oh, yeah. This very specific off-mic conversation where I'm like, yeah, no, it would be... I don't like roasting people, especially my loved ones. I would go on stage and be like, hey, you guys have friends that, like, are a little quirky, but like are the sweetest and kindest people. And like every day you wake up and you know that they're in your life, you're a little more grateful to be alive. You have those kinds of friends. And then everyone's like, boo, say something funny. And then I quit comedy again.
And then you just show a picture of my asshole and they're like, yeah! You're like, look at this weirdo's asshole.
Ham.
Hey guys, head over to Patreon. Actually, real quick, head over to Magical Meatball Girls, wherever you're listening to that. Search that. Please subscribe. That is Nicole and I's continuation of us doing podcasting media about Japanese media. It's us discussing magical girl anime. It's gonna rock. Please check it out. We should have 2 episodes there and over on patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday, I think maybe, or no, it might have been last Friday, is Mini Meatball Girls, the show after the show that we are doing for Magical Meatball Girls, where it's kind of to simulate. I wish I could have gone to slumber. I wish I was a woman. People should know that if you've listened to every episode of this. But I missed out on slumber party culture. So, Nicole, I think that's mainly, we're going to be doing personality quizzes. We're going to be talking about things that, slumber parties would discuss. Don't tell Nicole this, but I'm going to be reading one of her favorite manga in secrecy. And then all of a sudden I say, hey, Nicole, today this topic of discussion is blank. And she's going to be like, what? And I'm going to be like, yeah, I watched it. I read all of it. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it because it sounds really sad, but you can find all of that over on patreon.com/MLM pod, and $10 a month. You get all of that plus monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon. Last month's was Cheetah Girls with PJ. This month, I got to get Maximilian Harms over where we got to watch something. I don't know what yet. He's a cinematographer of note within these indie Chicago scene shorts. So check that out. And you get shout outs on every single free feed podcast if you're a $10 patron. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Alex Z, The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, A Sweet Child of Time, and Intro Void, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF, and now former roommate Shane from This Movie's Gay, as well as twitch.tv/Core Winning. It's Corwin from the Rom Complex, as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing. It's twitch.tv/R2 Shelby 2, and from the Speed Radio, a podcast and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. It's Tay, aka Zinny D, and I've been James.
And I've been Sean, and this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. A Purple Prancer forever. Be like Bob.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.